Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. Tuesday is here and it has been another swelteringly busy day and I have not stopped and it's already 5:15 in the afternoon. It's been a swamped kind of day and a swamped kind of week. I thought I would take a minute to tell you guys about what really happened this weekend. So this weekend, as you guys know, I went out of town to go get a refrigerator for the cabin that I needed to pick up. So I ordered the refrigerator from a company on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday when I originally placed the order. So I placed the order Wednesday evening, and after being on hold for the 30 minutes, I finally got the order placed. The woman said, I can't take your payment. I'll transfer you to our front desk and they'll take the payment. So they transferred me to the front desk. The front desk lady said, I'm sorry. I've already closed my register. I can't take your payment right now. You'll have to call back tomorrow to make a payment. I said, okay, that's fine. I've already got my invoice. Everything should be good. We're good to go. I'll just call in the morning and make a payment. So I call back on Thursday morning, and I'd already selected my delivery time and date and everything. I call back in to make the payment, and the young lady's like, I'm trying to process your payment, but it's not going through. She said, I don't know why it's not going through, but it's just not. And she said, let me speak with my supervisor that's right next to me. And I said, okay. So she spoke with the supervisor, and then she came back on the phone, and she said, okay, I know why it's not going through. We don't have any of those refrigerators in stock. You had them in stock last night when I ordered one. She's like, well, I'm not sure. It shows we sold the last one today. So, come to find out, they did not make an invoice for me. They only quoted me on the refrigerator, so it did not reserve it. Somebody came in and bought it, and then they sold it to them. And so, she transferred me back to the department for the refrigerator. The woman put me on hold. I was on hold for another 40 minutes. And she finally came on the line and said, I'm so sorry. It looks like they didn't create an invoice. They created a quote. Did you want to buy it? I said, yes. She said, well, we don't have it. She's like, we sold that one this morning. I'm so sorry. I've got another one that's similar. I was like, that'll work, for the same price, right? She's like, no, this one's $100 more. So I said, I'm not paying another $100 for something that I did not need to have. You sold what I had. I need that one. Well, we don't have this one. Let me transfer you to a different store and they will order it for you. Transfers me to a different store, which is another 45 minutes away from where I was at. Once I speak to that store, they're like, yeah, we can order it. We've got it, like 2 or 3 of them in stock. We'll get it for you. We'll have it delivered for Saturday, and we'll have you set up at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like, perfect. So great. So I'm like, I've got it ordered. So I head up to the cabin on the weekend on Friday night. Saturday comes. I get up super early, even though I was up super late. Sorry for that slight pause. All of a sudden, I just heard this like growling roar. And I got a little creeped out. Anywho, so Saturday morning comes. I get up super early. I'm awake. I'm getting my day going. They were supposed to be there between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock, I believe it was. 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So I got up super early on Saturday. And I sat around and waited. I watched TV and I waited. Gorgeous day, by the way. It was like 80 degrees, beautiful weather, perfect. Sat outside all day, or sat around the house all day waiting for them to show up. At 12:30, now just keep in mind, my phone service there is terrible. But at 12:30, my phone pings, and I look, and I had a missed call that had just come in. They called and rescheduled for 3:45 in the afternoon instead of 10 o'clock. I'm like 2 hours away from that. Why didn't they call me that morning and reschedule it? So I'm like, all right, I'm mad. Now my day is wasted because I'm going to sit here all day, but at least I'm going to get this refrigerator at 3:45-ish. So I sit there and wait, and I'll kill more time and kill more time, and 3:30 rolls around, and my phone rings. It's the delivery driver, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool, because typically they call you and say, hey, we're almost there, or, whatever. Comes to find out, the delivery driver tells me that he's not going to drive up there today. He said he just doesn't feel like it. It's too far. It's a 2-hour drive, which it's not really a 2-hour drive, but there is a lot of traffic because it is a tourist area. He's like, so with all the traffic and everything, I'm just not going to bother driving up that far. It's just too much. And I'm laughing about this the whole time. And I was like, are you serious? I said, I'm not going to be here tomorrow for it to be delivered. I selected for it to be delivered today because this is the only day I'm available to do it. That's why I picked that date 5 days ago so that you guys can get it here on time. Well, I'm just not going to drive up there. I don't feel like it. There's too much traffic and it's too far. It's 2 hours from where I'm at right now, and that's just a one-way possible round trip. I'm sorry. You'll have to call the store and talk to them. I'm just the driver. So I'm mad. I'm mad, obviously, for good reason. So I call the store, tell the store the story. They laugh and they're like, that's stupid. They should have just brought it up there. They gave me some crazy, stupid excuse. I ended up speaking with the store manager twice. Finally got in touch with the store manager, and she's like, okay, so we're going to reschedule you for 10 o'clock in the morning, first thing. And I said, it has to be 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, if you're not here between 10 and 11, I'm not going to be here. I said, I have to leave by 11 o'clock. Technically, I don't have to leave by 11 o'clock, but I let her know that I had to leave by 11. So I go to bed, and she said, oh, by the way, if you don't hear from me, call it about 8 o'clock in the morning. Between 8 and 8:30, if you don't hear from us, call us so we can get you your exact time. And I was like, okay. So I got up the next morning, Sunday morning, at super early, 8 o'clock. I called them at 8:30 because they never called. I requested to speak to a store manager, as she told me to do. Come to find out, the gentleman said, oh, well, it looks like you're fifth on our stop today, so we should be there about noon. What part of 10 a.m. did these people not understand? He's like, well, you're already on the docket. Well, we've already got the refrigerator loaded. You'll be on the fifth stop, which is, probably around noon. But, we have that 4-hour window. I'm like, what part of this? And you guys, you have to understand, I work in customer service. Well, I have worked in customer service. And I work to make a good experience for my employees, which is kind of the same. And I've worked in it for years, and I understand things happen. I never flip out. I never go crazy. I never scream, swear, or do anything like that with people on the phone. But I tell you what, that straw was drawn, and I just about thought about tearing these people apart because I was like, I ordered this 4 days ago, 5 days ago. They said they could have it to me the next day, but I said, no, hold off till Saturday. Gave them a few extra days to get it into their schedule. Give them plenty of time. They scheduled it, didn't show up. Scheduled it, didn't show up. Scheduled it, I canceled, and had to waste an entire weekend for that. Now keep in mind, Sunday I did go home a long way. I did have some sightseeing and stuff to do along the way. Saturday I did go out and do a little bit of stuff, but it's the principle of the fact. And the man, they didn't try, and it was irritating and annoying, and so that's what all took place. I don't think I ever actually told the whole story about what happened this weekend, but that is what happened this weekend. So, flash forwarded to yesterday, I still need a refrigerator, so I'm still going to have to go back up to the cabin again this weekend, and I'm going to go up there with the hopes that I will have a refrigerator this time. The refrigerator there, the compressor is going out on it, and I need to have it replaced before it completely goes out. So I will be going up there again this weekend to get it put in a new one. Now, drop my phone. So this weekend, hopefully it'll be just a pretty simple process. I ordered originally was going to order the refrigerator from a different store. They couldn't deliver it until the 6th, which I needed by the 3rd. So I called the same store I called the first time. And I got a hold of somebody, and she was really nice. She helped me. She said, I've got you scheduled down. She gave me a discount off of it. So maybe, just maybe, the refrigerator debacle will be over and done with, and I'll actually have a new refrigerator there. I hope. Fingers crossed. Other than that story, it's been a really busy day, and I'm glad I got to spend a few minutes with you guys to tell you my story of the weekend debacle and the nightmare that I did go through. I did have a lot of fun, though. Don't get me wrong. The chicken restaurant was weird. That was really strange. I'm really not sure how I feel about that still. The food... no. Food was not that great. You're definitely paying for a show. The biscuits... I mean, just keep in mind, and I just put mince in my mouth. Keep this in mind. I mean, live in the South. In the South, we know how to make biscuits. Biscuits is one thing we know how to do. And biscuits and gravy even more so. Their biscuits were pretty looking-ish, but they were dry, and they were not very good at all. The pancakes that I ordered, again, up there in the mountainous region, pancake houses are a dime a dozen. One on almost every street corner, and I've ate at pretty much half of them. And these pancakes are obviously not a from scratch type deal. They are out of a mix, which sometimes those can be pretty good depending on how they make them. These were like probably this thick, and they were like eating plaster, sort of. They were not very good at all. The syrup was not real maple syrup. It was like that artificial maple syrup, so it was gross. On top of it, it had like a florally scent in it, because it's probably made out of honey and brown sugar and water, and it was not that good. So the pancakes were lackluster for sure. The syrup was absolutely just don't even bother. The biscuits were kind of I liked the middle of them. I did order a side of tomato gravy. By the way, if you've never had tomato gravy, oh my gosh, it's so good. My mom makes it every year for Christmas, and I will literally sit there with the bowl and just tear it up. That's so good. But their tomato gravy wasn't too bad. It wasn't as good as my mom's by any means, but it was pretty good. But all in all, the food experience there was kind of, If you've got kids, take them. Now, I will tell you, I didn't know when we pulled up and I parked that it was what it was. No clue. I just knew it was a breakfast place, and I thought, okay, well, I've never been here. Let's try it. Did not know there were chickens that danced and sang along and chicken noises. Didn't know all this took place in there. I just thought it was a food place. So, but if you have kids, they'll probably eat it up, because kids, most young kids that would be enjoyable of that don't really have a taste palette too heavily, most of them. So they're not going to mind the brick pancakes. And a lot of the pancakes they do have are catered to kids. They have like, the one that I wanted to try actually, and I may want to try one day, is taco pancakes. I've never heard of such things. It's served with a tomato, instead of syrup, it's served with a tomato, like salsa jam type thing, but it's not sweet, I don't guess. I don't know. I wanted to try it, but I was like, no, not today. But yeah, if you got kids, kids will like it, but the food's not really that good. If you really want good food, somewhere else it's much better. And probably about the same price, if not a little cheaper. Some of my favorite places to eat up there are smaller places that are a little off the beaten path. And when it comes to pancakes, a majority of them use pancake mix of some sort. They don't make anything from scratch. The place that I used to go that I absolutely love their pancakes were delicious every time. They were buttery, they were crispy, they were soft, they were perfect. It's no longer there, naturally, because it was kind of a hole-in-the-wall place, and that's kind of where you find the best food. It kills me when people travel to places like that, and they And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of guests that go up there, and some people don't like to be adventurous with food. Some people don't like to venture out of their comfort zone, and I get that. But when you go up there, there are 50 billion restaurants up there. No joke, there's probably, I would say, 2,000 restaurants or less up there. And that's a lot of restaurants in two small little towns. And most people will go to the chain restaurants like Applebee's or whatever, the chain restaurants. Because there's quite a few of them. That Cracker Barrel is, for example. Cracker Barrel's good. Don't get me wrong. I like Cracker Barrel's food for the most part. But why would I go to Cracker Barrel when I can go to something good that is better and different and new, and it's similar in comfort style? There's quite a few restaurants up there that do not have that name brand authority, but their food is just as good, if not better. There is a place on the other side of the mountain in this little ramshackle of a building, and I've ate there a few times, and their food is really good. And from the outside with the gravel parking lot, you're going to think, but it was really, really good to eat there. So sometimes it's good to get out of that little comfort zone and take a step out of your box and try something new. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it pays off when you have to go to the bathroom the next day. Either way, I'm done rambling and ranting for today. I'm going to get back to work. I've got a few more minutes to get some stuff done, and I got to get it done. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you've enjoyed your week, and I will see you guys on the other side. Till tomorrow.